In this economy and this job market, you know, it's widely heralded that millennials are being told you're not going to be able to find a job when you come out of college. It's going to be very competitive. What advice do you give to young people just coming out of school?
I think that internships are really important, and you know, it is true that it's hard to get an experience unless you have had an experience. So I think whatever it is, even if it's something that's in, you know, that you work for unpaid internships for a while, or you do a, you know, something that gets you on the path of what your goal is, that it doesn't much matter if you start in the exact position that you want in the end. I think it's important that it makes sense and that it's on a path toward what you want. So, for example, I got out of business school as an undergrad and just knew I had to get a job, any job, didn't matter what job. And I got a great job, but, you know, looking back, if I had really thought about my career in 10 or 15 year increments or even 5-year increments, I may have made different choices as I started it. So being patient with, you know, financial reward and those things will come in a career, but making sure that you think about what you love. What is it that makes you want to do that? So what products is it? What kind of industry is it? What values does it hold? You know, make sure that it really squares with what you are as a person, because I've found it much easier to work in industries, and I've worked in a lot, but working in industries where I have, you know, personal interest in that industry, so that for me, when I'm reading about things after work, I'll find, oh, you know what, I'm reading about my industry because it's what I love. So reading a Runner's World, for example, it's play for me, but it's also really important to what I do for a living. So making sure that you kind of get on that path and have passions that align with what you want to do, I think that's really important. So the advice I would give young people is to think about that, is to think about those things that you really hold dear and that you think are fun, because at the end of it, it's going to be a really long working life, right? It's 40 plus years for most of us. I mean, not Mark Zuckerberg, but everybody else. And so if it's a long life, how do you make sure that you create, you know, meaning in that life, and that you have fun, and that you like the people you're doing it with?